Welcome to a video from thedigitallife.com. This is a new sound pack for Korg Wavestate. This is the Pink Floyd collection, inspired by Pink Floyd, 40 performances and 44 programs, all inspired by Pink Floyd and those classic synth sounds from Pink Floyd. I did a similar pack for the Mod Wave, and this is a brand new pack here for the Wavestate. In this video, I'm using the Wavestate module, but it works on the native version and the SC and all the versions. I've got controlling here from a key stage. And I'll be showing you what's going on using the screen editor, librarian editor. So I know some people said they like the descriptions as I talk through how I created sound. Some people don't, but I'm going to give you those descriptions. I'll keep it fairly brief, and maybe at the end I'll just do a few audio only demos, but I know some of you like those. So this collection is inspired by Pink Floyd. There's a set of sounds. You'll recognize some of the titles. If you're recreating Pink Floyd tracks, you could use them with that. But also, I think Rick Wright and Pink Floyd were great at creating synth sounds in general that you could use on other stuff. Some really nice lead sounds and pad sounds and everything else. So they're usable in different kinds of music. So let's go through some of them. They're in alphabetical order, I think, in my editor. So that's the way I'll go through them here. You'll have to excuse me playing. I'm not there are some great Pink Floyd cover bands out. I am definitely not one of them, but I'll show you examples of the sound. So the first one is the Any Color You Like MiniMoog lead sound. And that's that really nice sort of warm MiniMoog sound, but with the delay on there. It's the tape delay that really makes that sound. And that's achieved really by making a basic sort of MiniMoog style patch using sawtooths, which is what I've used. I've used 2 layers on this one to emulate using 2 oscillators on the MiniMoog with slightly detuned to give it that effect, and then added that delay on there. And that really does give it that really nice. There you can see the effects that I'm using on there. So really like that. So there's that MiniMoog sound from the Brain Damage, the end of Brain Damage. Which is actually quite a simple sound. It's just a single oscillator with some delayed vibrato on there. So there's that Brain Damage sound. Just a single oscillator, pulse width. I think it was pulse width, just listening to it, and using vibrato on there as well to give it that effect. There's no pulse width modulation as such on the Wavestate because you're playing samples rather than modeling oscillators like on, say, the mono poly or the multi-poly or the Mod Wave, but you can achieve that by using those PWM samples. So here's a string sound that you can use. It's actually based on the string sounds in cluster 1 at the beginning of Division Bell. But what I've actually done this one is used some wave sequencing to switch between the different string samples to give it a bit of movement. So you can hear it there, switching between them. So that's a useful one to have just as a general string sound. I mean, you could suppose use that for Come From Numb as well. So a nice string sound, but it's got some movement in there through that wave switching. So this is another Division Bell one. This is this sort of pad sounding coming back to life, which David Gilmour does the lovely guitar part over. So again, using samples of just a couple of layers to give it some movement, some actual strings rather than synth strings. And I think it's a really nice string sound that on that pad sound. So this is the lead sound from Dogs. There's actually two lead sound in Dogs, so I can play that one. So that's the lead sound. It's there's two lead sounds in Dogs. That's the first part, and the second one. So the second part kicks in when the Solina's playing. So it's, which is a bit of a brighter sound, and it's got much more vibrato on it as well. So that's what I've done. I've used the mob wheel or using the play after touch. I have got the Solina sound as well, which we'll come to later. Next one, Echoes piano. This is not. This is a bonus one. Think of it that way. What you need for Echoes piano is a piano going through an organ Leslie turned up quite fast. The Wavestate doesn't have a Leslie control on there or a Leslie effect. So to get sort of that effect, I've used the chorus from the CX3 chorus, which is kind of close, but so I think it sounds close, but it's not exactly correct. On my Nord lead, actually, that I have that sound by just putting the piano through its built-in Leslie, and that's the kind of sound. But I think this sounds quite close. So it's not bad. You probably get away with it in the mix, but again, it's a useful sound in its own right. It's very early 70s, isn't it? Late 60s, early 70s. So that's High Hopes. Got the split with the piano and the church bell using the built-in samples. The actual sample runs a lot longer on here, so I put an envelope just so you get that single bell on there, because if you leave it open, it's just a constant ringing sort of church bell, so you can vaguely hear it in the background there. But I think that sounds actually quite good. So that's High Hopes. This is Learning to Fly Hollow. And it's just a nice square wave sound, which I really like. And I created a split with that as well. So we get the tempo right on here. So that's an example of using the wave sequencing on the Wavestate to create a rhythm track. So it's actually split. So we've got the bass and kick. Bass and snare, sorry, and then you've got the hi-hat, and then I've also got one layer for the percussion as well. So like that. So that was an interesting example of using the wave sequencing to do drum sounds. So there's the Welcome to the Machine lead sound, used on other Pink Floyd tracks as well, something similar. I think there's some on the wall that use that as well. And that one, just dual layers on that one as well, using modulation on the sawtooth waves. You notice these waves as well, so MG1, that's some Moog waves in there, so the samples are Moog ones on there. So this is another one that not quite there, but I quite like it anyway. So it's sort of the auto wah feature that's on Money, using the wah with the electric piano. So it's quite close, so it just perhaps lacks a bit of attack, but I do like the sound anyway. Okay, a couple of versions of the same one here to try to get different things to work it. So I recreated On the Run quite closely on the Mod Wave, actually. This is a different synth, and I got it close, not quite the same, because we're not modeling an analog synth like we are on the Mod Wave, which VCS3 was on the Run, but I have managed to create this. And of course, you need to get the tempo a bit higher. So this is On the Run. I'm going to drop it down an octave, actually. So this is On the Run. So you see, it's got quite a lot going on there. So we've got multiple layers. So we've got on layer A, the analog sequence from the VCS3. And then on B, we've got one of the synth effects that starts off in 1E and works its way over. And then on C, got the noise effect, which again works its way across. So that's one version, and then this is just a slightly modified one as I was trying to get things closer. So here you can see on the top, so I've got the extra layer. So you can leave the bass bit running in the background. And it's got that bit that sort of sweeps across like that. So interesting effects. I don't think I got that quite as close to doing on the Mod Wave, but I think it sounds good. So this is one that you couldn't do on a Mod Wave because it's using the one of these days it's a hammered organ, the Leslie, and the bass, and I put that bass in there. So you can have the bass in there. So you can imagine that playing. So it's got a sample bass and the organ going through some effects to get that. I've included an old piano. So I've included just a regular piano. So you could use that for a variety of stuff for Pink Floyd, but you maybe have one already, but I'll stick one in there for you. Piper organ is that sort of 60s, late 60s organ. Pink Floyd used a Vox Continental, and amongst other, Pink Floyd used, so Piper organ is that sort of 60s style organ, pretty straight. I think Pink Floyd used a Farfisa. There isn't, I couldn't find a good Farfisa sample, but there is the Vox one, so you can use that for sort of that older Floyd stuff as well. Okay, so we've got a couple of organs now. We've got rotor organs. I've got one that works with the vector control and one that works with the Mod Wave. Both do the same thing. It's just really about controlling the rotor speed. So so we've got slow speed. Now, what you haven't got is the speed up, speed down. I did have a go at doing this once on the Mod Wave, And I actually got quite close to it, but I didn't want to include any additional samples in this collection, so maybe I'll do something similar I did on the Mod Wave as a separate thing later. But this just uses the mod wheel to crossfade between the slow and the fast rotor speeds. The one with the vector control does the same thing, so it depends how you want to play. So you can do it either way. So you can use Mod Wave or the joystick on there. So ideally, you've got 4 sample lanes, so you could get 4 speeds, and you could use this to go through 4 layers using the mod processor, which is what I did for the other one. So maybe I'll look at that in a separate collection for now. But this, I didn't want to include any extra samples, so that's what we've got. Run like hell. So another Moog lead. A lot of filter on that with resonance and a lot of modulation on there. This is the EP from Sheep. So a nice electric piano sound there with the effects on it. Okay, now we come on to the Shine On parts. So we've got the clavinet from Shine On. So we've got the clavinet from Shine On. And the various parts of it. So let me show, let's go with the split. Let's go with the strings first, actually. So we've got a couple of versions of the strings. That really does evoke that Shine On, doesn't it? That G minor chord. So that's a Solina string sample. I think it sounds pretty good. I've actually got one of the Behringer Solinas, and I think it sounds pretty good in that. Again, built-in samples. So that's just the strings on its own. And I did one because someone commented on one of the videos that it's actually string and organ together. So I've got that. So there you can hear a nice slow Leslie organ and the strings. Then to go with that, you've got the lead sound. So on the split one, you get those two. So you get the Solina and the string. And notice I just probably have to touch on that as well. Later on, there's another brass sound. And I think it's just slightly different, it's a bit more brassy, so that's the second lead sound on that. Of course, we've got the noise. For the second part when it's coming in. And then later on, there's that really shrill lead sound. So that's that one, that's that sort of shrill sound. So those make up those sounds, and of course you've got the organ sounds that already, the rotor organ sounds, which I already mentioned, which need to use it on there as well. Okay, Signs of Life. So Signs of Life has got that whistle. So I've included that and the pad sound to go with it as well. Which is based on the Solina sound. And then here's the Solina just on their own. So the difference between this and the other sounds, the synth strings or the ensemble strings have done, is on the Solina, just like on this one, it's actually got a split, and then you've got a lower section. So that's exactly what I've done on here. So you've got the main part, and then down here you've got this bass section. So you can hear where the split is there. See. So loads of Pink Floyd stuff uses that Solina, so you can use that. So next one, Speak to Me. There's the heartbeat sound. It's quite subtle. And what you can do with the vector is bring in the tick-tock from the that you would have as well. But I like the heartbeat on there. There's a template. I use all my sound packs. I use a template, so it sets everything up for me. So that's included. So for time, we've got a nice soft EP, but you can use it in the. So you've got that nice EP on there. So that's the Moog sound from Wearing the Inside Out on. So it's another nice soft lead sound in mono as well. So welcome to the machine type sound. And another extra one I sort of put in there, the guitar sound on Wish You Were Here, as it comes in, it kind of sounds like it's on the radio, doesn't it, in the sort of distance. So I thought I'd do a sort of guitar sound like that. So I took one of the acoustic guitar samples and then played about the effects and then just got that, so it sounds like it's in the radio. Because initially it sounds like you hear the guitars on the radio and then someone in the room is playing along with the guitar, and I think that's the kind of effect they were going for. So that's what I did on there. Finally, we've got the soft brass sound from Wish You Were Here, which it's in duophonic. So I don't know if it was a duophonic synth or whether it was two MiniMoogs playing to create that in mono to create that duophonic sound. I'll probably have to touch on it as well. And I've left it in polyphonic mode as well, so you can actually play chords with it. It's got that nice sort of warm sound as well. So that's the set. These are all the performances. There's a full set of programs as well, which makes up most of the performances, all the layers. You can load those into your own layers and your own performances and make up your own packs with them as well. So I hope you enjoyed those sounds. Let me know in the comments what you think of them. If you think there's any that I've missed, I could maybe look at volume 2. There's 2 sets of this available. There's a free set and there's the full premium pack as well. By buying the premium one, you're helping me support doing these packs and releasing more packs and tutorials. So thanks for watching this video. Follow the links to get the sounds, and I'll see you on the next one.